Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to unpack a truly profound speech recently delivered at the Asia-Pacific Sustainability Conference. And, we're looking at this fascinating and honestly kind of heartbreaking paradox right at the heart of modern healthcare. As our medical tech has gotten more and more brilliant, the actual, real-life human experience of getting care, well, it's gotten incredibly strained. So today, we're going to explore how we can use the exact thing that seems to be pulling us apart, technology and AI, to actually restore that human connection in medicine.
To really ground us today, I want to start with a sentiment that has literally endured for centuries. Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. It's absolutely vital we anchor ourselves here. Because no matter how mind-blowing our tech gets, its ultimate purpose is actually remarkably simple: preserving human life, human dignity, and human well-being. We really can't measure progress just by what a machine can do. We have to measure it by how well it serves those core human needs.
Think about it like this. Historically, care wasn't just something that happened inside the four sterile walls of a clinic. In places like Malaysia and really all throughout Asia, care traditionally started with the family and rippled out to the neighbors. Back in the day, people simply noticed when an elderly neighbor hadn't been out on their porch for a few days. They knew when someone was sick, and not because some alert pinged on a smartphone screen, but because they actually paid attention to one another. That is some deep, deep cultural wisdom right there, and it's a tradition we absolutely shouldn't toss out just because our instruments have gotten an upgrade.
Now, let's be real. Those instruments have changed in breathtaking ways. We totally have to celebrate the absolute miracles of modern medicine. I mean, we've got vaccines preventing millions of deaths, antibiotics wiping out infections that used to be a sure tragedy. We can literally look inside the human body with advanced imaging, and surgeons are pulling off a level of precision that previous generations couldn't even dream of. Diseases that used to be an automatic death sentence, today they're managed or even completely cured. It's wild.
But, and there's a big but here, this incredible progress asks a really tough question of us. By getting so ridiculously good at treating the disease, have we stayed equally good at caring for the person who actually has it? Which brings us to the great paradox we're facing. On one hand, we have this mountain of data, unprecedented information about our patients. But on the flip side, healthcare professionals actually have way less time to spend face-to-face with them. Healthcare isn't just managing sickness, it's caring for human beings. And right now, that human element is feeling a major squeeze.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the shift in a clinician's daily reality. Doctors and nurses, they get into this work to care for people, right? But increasingly, they are just drowning in documentation, admin work, clunky systems, and endless screens. We built these incredible tools to serve medicine, but somewhere along the line it flipped. Our clinicians are serving the technology. The tool has basically become the master.
And make no mistake, patients absolutely notice this. You've probably noticed it. You notice when the computer monitor gets more eye contact from your doctor than you do. You notice when your visit feels awkwardly split between a personal chat and furious keyboard typing. People notice when efficiency starts to feel a whole lot like distance. But I want to be super clear here. This is not a failure of our doctors and nurses. No way. This distance is a massive challenge created by the systems we've boxed them into.
And this is exactly where AI brings its most exciting promise to the table. We hear AI and immediately think replacement, right? But in medicine, its true measure is completely different. The goal isn't to see if AI can just play doctor. The true measure is whether AI enables doctors to devote more of themselves to their patients. Technology's job shouldn't be building a wall between people. It should be a liberator. It should knock down those administrative walls so humans can actually connect again.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, imagine your next doctor's visit, but the doctor never once has to turn their back to type on a laptop. Instead, your conversation is just securely, quietly documented in the background. Your medical history, already organized. Potential risks, instantly flagged. All that routine paperwork happens without ever breaking the bond between you and your clinician. In this world, the tech is totally present, doing the heavy lifting, but it's basically invisible.
And when we make that technology invisible, look at what we get back. Time. Time to really listen. Time to observe the little things. Time to explain complex issues. And when things are tough, just time to be present. If AI can give us that time back, then its biggest win won't be about how smart the machines are. It'll be about what they allow human beings to do so much better.
Now, I do have to add a reality check here. This utopian future isn't just going to happen on its own. Because technology, well, it has no moral compass. It's completely neutral. It doesn't care. The absolute highest purpose of any innovation is to elevate humanity, but since the tech doesn't know right from wrong, that falls on us. We are the ones who have to decide how it's designed, governed, and most importantly, how it actually gets used in the real world.
So the crucial point is this. As we welcome AI into healthcare, we have to lock in on 3 non-negotiable principles. Step 1. AI has to support clinical judgment, but it can never, ever diminish human responsibility. Step 2. It must strengthen the bond between patient and clinician, no more acting like a digital brick wall between them. And step 3, we have to use it to expand compassion, dignity, and access, not just to squeeze out a few more drops of operational efficiency.
We've got to burn these principles into our minds because, look, a hospital is not an assembly line. Doctors and nurses are not just data processors, and a patient is absolutely not a unit of production. Let this really sink in for a second. Behind every single medical record is a living, breathing person. Behind every complicated diagnosis is a terrified family. And behind every sterile statistic is a human life.
When we keep that human element front and center, it totally changes how we look at the future, especially when we throw around the word sustainability. Usually we hear sustainability and think, carbon footprints, solar panels, the environment. But for medicine, we need a massive redefinition. Because the healthcare system is not sustainable if its doctors are running on fumes, if its nurses are completely burnt out, or if patients feel like they're invisible. Sustainable societies need healthy people and resilient communities, period.
And AI? It has a massive role to play in building that truly sustainable system. Think about it. This tech can instantly beam top-tier specialist knowledge into remote, underfunded communities. It can spot diseases way earlier than the human eye ever could. It can cut out all this unnecessary waste, stretching our super-limited healthcare resources so much further. But here's the catch. We have to measure our success by whether it actually improves lives and preserves human dignity, not just by bragging about how many new software licenses a hospital bought.
So, as we look ahead at this wild horizon, our mindset is literally everything. We shouldn't be greeting AI with doomsday fear, but we also shouldn't be cheering it on with blind, unquestioning hype. We need to step up to it with confidence and really sharp judgment. Bring the ambition, for sure, but pair it equally with heavy responsibility. We have to maintain the unwavering belief that technology exists strictly to serve us, humanity. Do that, and medicine gets way smarter without losing its heart, and way more efficient without ever losing its personal touch.
Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. Look, our generation has been handed tools with power that is just unprecedented. It's staggering. But the tech is going to keep changing, and medicine will keep advancing. The real question, the one history is going to hold our feet to the fire over, isn't what these tools could do. History is going to ask what we chose to do with them. Did we use AI to push each other further apart? Or did we use it to make absolutely sure that compassion, dignity, and our deep responsibility to one another stayed right at the beating heart of care? It's something to think really deeply about as we step into this new era.